Are you feeling defeated today? Is that you? Are you feeling like giving up completely and you've done everything you can and nothing seems to work out? Are you feeling like throwing it all up and just taking another route? Have you started believing that God is not for you and maybe God loves other people? Or maybe you've defined yourself, even you've reached the point of concluding that maybe you are a stepchild of God or you angered God in some way, or whatever you're going through today that has brought you down on your knees, crawling for help, whereby you believe nothing in this world can help you. I really do hope and believe that these stories, this scripture from the Bible and this prayer will remind you that everything you're feeling, all your conclusions, all your defeats are absolutely nothing compared to the might of God, the universe. Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you may be. It's Dr. Jacinta Mpali Nkana, your friend here at Tap the Good Spiritual Counseling and Transformational Coaching Services. In this session today, I'm going to tell you a story, I'm going to counsel you, and we are going to pray together to take your power back from strongholds. Now, let's talk a little bit about defeat before I tell you the story. Defeat is an emotion, it's a feeling, it's a conclusion. Defeat is a process, an emotional process you arrive to when you have tried everything you could, maybe externally, functionally, operational, outside yourself, operationally, and you're out of moves. Okay, so because you're out of moves, you feel defeated. You feel like you don't have anything else left within you or outside you to change the situation that you're faced with. Or maybe you feel like the challenge that you have has been lingering in your life for so long that you feel like it may never go away and it has crippled you in some way. So you feel defeated, you feel isolated, you conclude you have believed the enemy to be your truth. The first thing I have to tell you is in, I think, Proverbs 1:5-6, where it is written, do not lean on your understanding. In all your ways, trust you God with all your heart, and he will direct all your ways, something like that. Do not lean on your understanding. If you lean on your understanding, that means that you have leaned on the precept, on your understanding of the defeat. You have believed the defeat and your condition to be the truth. But once you take your power back from that understanding, literally, and understand it, and understand it, like let it go, don't give it your belief anymore, and believe it. Say, you know what, you be there and I'ma be here. And you take your power back from understanding it and turn all your attention to that God, to whatever you believe is God, to that purity, whatever you believe is pure, whatever you believe is the source of your life, of your well-being. It will direct your ways, and you don't even have to be religious. You don't have to even go to church. This is inner work at its best. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you a difference between the truth and a lie. This is a story that my mom once told me. One day, Mr. Truth and Mr. Lies went swimming. They swam and had a great time. Now, when Mr. Truth was busy floating, closing his eyes and really relaxing, Mr. Lies quickly swam out of the water and picked up Mr. Truth's clothes and wore them, and then ran away. When Mr. Truth opened his eyes, Mr. Lies had run away wearing his clothes. So the only option that Mr. Truth had to do not to move around naked, was to wear Mr. Lie's clothes. Mr. Lie, with the clothes of Mr. Truth, went out in the world, playing hard, playing as the truth, pretending to be the truth, showing up and persisting and singing out loud, I am the truth, I am the truth. It showed up and people believed it. But because Mr. Truth knew what he was, he did nothing. He laid low. He didn't fight for attention. He didn't have any tricks on his sleeve. He already knew he was the truth. He was Mr. Truth. He didn't need anything. He didn't need to lie about anything. The truth does not lie about anything. Lies will do anything on this planet, to do anything they can to grab your attention. The truth lays low for it to find it. What does that teach you? What it should teach you, that whatever feels so overwhelming, dancing in your consciousness with all sorts of sparks and triggering all sorts of emotions, is definitely a freaking lie, pretending and dressed up as the truth. The truth, my friend, is that when you are alert with a sober mind, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. The truth is that when you're not alert, please forgive me for that, when you're not alert and when you don't have a sober mind, your enemy, the devil, will prowl around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour, and probably he'll find you. So that devil is the ego mind. And when your mind, when your heart, when your conscious mind, when your consciousness is filled with things of this world, when you have accepted everything else that has come into your mind to be the truth, that is an unsober, that's a drunk mind, drunk with things of this world. That is going to attract more problems, more delusions, more conclusions that are not true, because you have already dressed your mind with a lie. The lie that whatever you feel, whatever you believe, whatever is of this world is the truth. You have dressed the lie with your perception that it's true. And once you do that, it's going to recruit more of itself, and you're going to feel as though there is a lion roaring in your existence. And that is 1 Peter 5:8, where it's written, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. When you are alert, you leave your mind pure. Whatever comes, you allow it to be, and you let it be, and you let it go. You do not indulge. The ego has a way of using all our experiences literally against us. The ego shows up on our parades and rains on it. That's why when you're having a really good time, haven't you ever had those thoughts of like, don't be so happy because sadness is happening, and then you hold back? Because it's that duality, it has a dualistic tendency to shift you out of your zen. So whatever you have believed as defeat is just a belief. It is not the truth. The truth is that whatever you've believed found you, and it will leave you. Everything is consumed by time. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is permanent. It doesn't matter how that lie is dancing up and down, showing up, throwing whatever, running fireworks, road. It doesn't matter how challenging that situation that you're in is. It doesn't matter how long it has been existing in your world. It doesn't matter what it has brought along with it, because I had someone once say that the devil has problems, have relatives. It doesn't matter if your problems or challenges have brought so many relatives and it's always raining in your world. It does not matter. What matters is what God said, that when tempted, No one should say God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. That is James 1:13. God is the only truth, the only permanence. That's why God doesn't even show its face. It's not a he or she. Doesn't dance around screaming, I am God. That's why God gets everything done without doing anything. God speaks without a word, without a voice. God feels without feelings. God is limitless. If you're looking for tricks, God is the trickster of this world, because he can't run out of anything. We are dwelling in the infinite. This is the infinite. We are dwelling in God. The universe is God, and by God. You cannot be outside God. If you feel separate today, it's just an illusion. Remember, no weapon formed against you can prosper, but it will not prosper when you remember that whatever is appearing as a weapon is a lie. The truth is that God dwells in you and you're dwelling in God. That's why I'll give you examples. There is the law of gravity. That's why you're not off somewhere in the sky or is floating. You're anchored on Mother Earth. That's why you can breathe. You've been provided by the gift of life through oxygen, and that's why your lungs have the ability to exclude all the carbon dioxide and expel it. That's why when you're in your mother's womb, somewhere, somehow, everything that you needed to develop into a little kid was delivered to you. That's why you have all the veins and nerves and cells and systems that you have in your body. That's why you have a brain that can help you remember and think and operate, especially if you use it correctly. That's why you are supported by Mother Earth through the food that you eat. That's why the entire universe was created with you in mind. There are minerals and landscapes and water and oceans and salt. Everything was created with you in mind. You are special. You are in God, one with God, and God can never leave you. It's impossible for the definite to dwell outside the infinite. The definite is a little part of the infinite dwelling and defining itself. You are like a drop of water or a wave on the ocean ocean being God. You are not separate from God. So instead of worrying, take your power back. Take your power back. Say right here and right now, I take all my power back from what I have believed that is defeating me. I take my power back from this challenge. I take my power back from this defeat. I take my power back from all the people and conditions that I have given it to, and I give that power to God within me. That's why it's written, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. That means that you give all your attention to God, and God is not a thing. So you give all your attention to everything that is not a thing, and you will discover that you're dwelling in the infinite as the infinite itself, because you cannot be where God is. You cannot be infinite and then stand with the definite. You cannot be definite and then stand with the infinite. It cannot happen. The definite cannot overwhelm the infinite. That's why it was written that the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. That is 2 Corinthians 10:4. The weapon you fight with, my friend, is the weapon of stillness and trust in God, remembering what He said.